Hello everyone, welcome back to OneCodeCamp channel. Today, we will guide you how to install Node.js to your local machine. I hate to keep you waiting, so let's get started. In this tutorial, we'll embark on an exciting journey into the world of Node.js. If you're curious about server-side JavaScript and building powerful web applications, you've come to the right place. In our previous video, we explored the fundamentals of Node.js, learning about its role as a cross-platform JavaScript runtime environment. Node.js enables us to execute JavaScript code outside of web browsers, opening up to thrilling possibilities for web development. It breaks down the barriers between front-end and back-end development, allowing us to use unified language across the entire stack. Now, in this video, we'll delve into the practical aspects of our journey by focusing on one of the first steps every aspiring Node.js must take, that is installing Node.js. Specifically, we'll walk you through the process of step-by-step installation on Windows, one of the most popular operating systems used by developers worldwide. But before we dive into the details, let's take a moment to acknowledge that Node.js is indeed a cross-platform wonder. While our main focus will be on installing Node.js on Windows, it's important to mention that the installation process is very similar on other major operating systems, including macOS and Linux. So if you're using macOS or Linux, you can follow along with this tutorial and steps will be almost identical. So without further ado, let's get started with the installation of our Node.js. Before we start the installation process, it's a good idea to check if you already have installed Node.js on your system. You might have previously installed Node.js, and if that's the case, there's no need to reinstall it. Let's quickly run a command to find out. To do that, let's open the command prompt. And then let's type node space -v and then hit enter. And then you will see the Node version installed in your local machine. Here I have the version 20.5.0 version. Your version could be higher or lower than this. If you don't see this message or Node.js version is not displayed, don't worry, we'll proceed to the installation. Open your browser and go to the official Node.js website. On the homepage, you will see two options. First, we have the recommended for most users option, and then we have the latest features. Click on the current version button to download the installer for your Windows system. Let's wait a few seconds for the downloads to be finished. Once the download is complete, locate the download installer file in the downloads folder. Let me just open again a command prompt to show you that Node.js is no longer installed in this machine. Let me type again Node.js -v. Now let's double-click the installer file to run the installer. The installer will present you with a setup wizard. Click Next to begin the installation. On the next screen, you will see the license agreement. Read through the license agreement, and if you are agree, toggle the checkbox. I will click Next because I'm already done reading this. The installer will prompt you to choose the installation location for Node.js. The default location is usually fine, but you can change it if needed. After selecting the location, click Next. In this step, you can choose the components to install. The default options are usually sufficient for most users. Now let's click Next. Again, let's click Next. Click Install to begin the installation process. The installer will start installing Node.js and npm to your Windows system. Now let's wait for the installation process to be finished. This may take just a few seconds. Once the installation is complete, you will see a completed message. Click Finish to close the installer. To verify that the Node.js and npm are installed correctly, open the command prompt or PowerShell in your Windows system. Now let's type node -v. And you will see the version of Node.js installed to your local system. After that, let's check the npm version installed to your system. Let's type npm space -v. And there you have it, you will see the npm version installed to your system. npm, short for Node Package Manager, is a powerful and widely used package manager for Node.js applications. It comes bundled with Node.js and allows developers to easily install, manage, and share reusable JavaScript code, packages, and modules. That's it, you've successfully installed Node.js on your Windows system, and you're all set to start building powerful web applications using Node.js. In the next segment of our video, we'll delve into using Node.js and explore some basic commands to get you started. Now that we have successfully installed Node.js, it's time to have some fun and explore the basics. Let's start by diving into the Node.js REPL. REPL means Read, Eval, Print, and Loop. Node REPL is a powerful feature that allows us to interactively experiment with our JavaScript code. Think of it as a JavaScript playground right in your terminal. Now let's try it out by opening the command prompt. To start the REPL in the terminal, we simply type node. You can enter JavaScript code directly and it will be executed immediately. The results will be displayed instantly, allowing you to experiment with code in real time. Let's try defining two variables, constant x and y. First, let's define the constant x and let's assign a value of 10. After that, a constant y and let's assign a value of 5. Now let's type the value expression of x plus y. As you can see, we define two variables, x and y, each with numeric values. When we enter the expression x and y, the REPL instantly evaluated it and displayed the result, which is 15. This instant feedback makes the REPL a great tool for experimenting with JavaScript code. Now that we have a glimpse of the REPL, let's switch gears and use Node.js in the command line interface to run standalone scripts. First, let us create a folder in the desktop. I will just name this folder Node.js tutorial. Once we're done with the folder, we're going to open it using a text editor. For this tutorial, I will be using VS Code. Let's start by clicking the file and click the open folder. Let's locate the folder that we just created. And in this directory, let's create a new file and name it app.js. Now let's write a simple script. Let's type a constant variable my name and assign a value to it. After that, let's log this variable in the console. Now that we have created a simple script, let's run it in the terminal. Let me just open the terminal by pressing Ctrl+J. To run this script, let's type the command node space followed by the name of our file app.js. Now you can see the output. As you can see, running Node.js code in the CLI is just as straightforward as using the REPL. The output one is displayed in the terminal. Node.js provides us with a familiar environment to work with JavaScript. Now let's take our learning a step further and try to display hello world in a browser using Node.js server to handle the request. To do that, let's create another file and name it server.js. To begin with, let us use the built-in Node.js HTTP module, which will allow us to create an HTTP server. After that, let's create the server using the http.createServer method. After that, let us pass it a callback function. Inside this function, let's place two parameters, one for request and one for response. This function will be executed every time a client makes an HTTP request to the server. Now inside the function, let's use the write head to set the response header, followed by that and the method write head. Inside this method, we will set the response header with a status code of 200, indicating success. After that, let us set the content type header to text/HTML, indicating that we are sending an HTML content. Now let's use REST.end to send the response data to the client. Let us pass an HTML heading with a hello world string. Finally, we will use the listen method to make the server listen on port 8080. To do that, let's type server.listen and inside this, the port 8080. And we're now done with our script. We can now run it using our terminal. To run this script, let's type node and the name of our file, server.js. Let's hit enter, and now our server is now listening to the request from the port 8080. Now let's go to the web browser, and in the address bar, type the following URL and press enter. After that, you should see the message hello world displayed as an HTML heading in your web browser. And that's it. You've successfully created your first Node.js server and displayed the legendary hello world in your web browser. Thank you for joining me in this video tutorial, and I hope to see you in the next video. Happy coding, and until next time.